Imagine a chain of islands rising from the vast Pacific. This is Japan, the land of the rising sun. Volcanoes pierce the sky, their peaks often shrouded in mist. Dense forests cover the mountainsides, home to creatures both familiar and strange. Rivers wind through valleys, nurturing rice paddies that shimmer like emerald mirrors. The Japanese people have long felt a deep connection to this land. They believe it is inhabited by spirits who reside in trees, rocks, and waterfalls. Ancient stories tell of mythical creatures like a mischievous raccoon dog and a cunning fox. These tales, passed down through generations, reveal a profound respect for nature and the unseen world. For centuries, Japan remained isolated from the mainland Asian continent. This allowed a unique culture to blossom, rich in tradition and artistry. But how did this ancient civilization begin? Let us journey back in time and explore the fascinating story of ancient Japan. Every culture has its creation myths, stories that explain the origin of the world and its people. In Japan, these tales are filled with gods and goddesses, with love, betrayal, and epic battles. According to legend, in the beginning, there was only a swirling chaos. From this primal soup emerged two deities, Izanagi and Izanami. These brother and sister gods were tasked with creating the islands of Japan. Standing on the floating bridge of heaven, they dipped a jeweled spear into the ocean. When they lifted it, droplets fell and solidified, forming the first island. Together, Izanagi and Izanami brought forth more islands, along with mountains, rivers, and the other elements of the natural world. Their most important creation, however, was Amaterasu, the sun goddess. Amaterasu brought light and warmth to the land. She became the most revered deity in the Japanese pantheon, and her descendants, the emperors of Japan, would claim divine right to rule. These ancient myths, passed down through generations, helped to shape Japanese beliefs and values. The earliest inhabitants of the Japanese archipelago, known as the Jomon people, lived as hunter-gatherers. They thrived in the dense forests and along the coastlines, adapting to the diverse environments of the islands. They roamed the land, following the seasons in search of food. Their nomadic lifestyle was dictated by the availability of resources, moving from place to place to gather what they needed. Skilled hunters, they used bows and arrows to bring down deer and wild boar. These hunting techniques were passed down through generations, ensuring their survival. They also fished in the rivers and gathered nuts, berries, and edible plants. Their diet was varied and rich, thanks to their deep knowledge of the natural world around them. The Jomon people were remarkably creative. They expressed their ingenuity through various crafts, most notably their pottery. They are best known for their pottery, decorated with distinctive cord-marked patterns. These intricate designs were not just for aesthetics, but also had cultural significance. These vessels, some of the oldest in the world, were used for cooking, storing food, and even burial rituals. The pottery pieces provide a window into their daily lives and spiritual beliefs. Around 300 BC, a new wave of people, the Yayoi, migrated to Japan from mainland Asia. This migration brought significant changes to the archipelago. They brought with them knowledge of rice cultivation and bronze and ironworking. These new technologies and practices had a profound impact on the existing Jomon culture. These innovations revolutionized life in ancient Japan. The introduction of rice agriculture allowed for more stable food supplies and supported larger populations. People began to settle in one place, cultivating rice paddies and building permanent villages. This shift from a nomadic to a sedentary lifestyle marked a major transformation in their way of life. The Yayoi period saw the gradual emergence of a more hierarchical society. Social structures became more complex as communities grew. As villages grew larger, some individuals gained more power and influence. These leaders played crucial roles in organizing labor and managing resources. This marked a significant shift from the egalitarian lifestyle of the Jomon people, paving the way for the development of a more complex social structure. The transition from Jomon to Yayoi represents one of the most transformative periods in Japanese history, laying the foundations for future civilizations. By the 3rd century AD, numerous small states, each ruled by a clan, dotted the Japanese islands. These states were often isolated from one another, each developing its own unique customs and traditions. The landscape was a mosaic of diverse cultures and political entities, each vying for power and influence. Among them, the Yamato clan, claiming descent from Amaterasu, the sun goddess, began to assert its dominance. This divine lineage gave the Yamato a unique position of spiritual and political authority, setting them apart from other clans. Their connection to Amaterasu was not just a matter of prestige, but also a powerful tool for legitimizing their rule. Through a combination of military prowess, strategic alliances, and shrewd diplomacy, the Yamato gradually extended their control over neighboring lands. They were adept at forging alliances with other powerful clans, often through marriage and other forms of kinship. Their military campaigns were meticulously planned and executed, ensuring their dominance over rivals. This period, known as the Kofun period, is named after the massive burial mounds that were constructed for the elite. These mounds, some of which were truly monumental in scale, served as both tombs and symbols of the Yamato's power and influence. The construction of these mounds required a significant amount of resources and labor, reflecting the Yamato's ability to mobilize and control large segments of the population. These keyhole-shaped tombs, often surrounded by moats, contained elaborate burial goods, including bronze mirrors, weapons, and clay figures called haniwa. These items were not only valuable but also held significant cultural and religious meaning. The haniwa figures in particular are believed to have served as guardians for the deceased, protecting them in the afterlife. The rise of the Yamato marked a turning point in Japanese history. Their consolidation of power laid the groundwork for the development of a more unified and centralized state. This period saw the beginning of many of the political and social structures that would come to define Japan for centuries to come. They established a powerful centralized government, with the emperor at its head. This centralization allowed for more efficient governance and the implementation of policies that could be enforced across the entire territory under Yamato control. The emperor's court became the center of political life, attracting scholars, artisans, and officials from across the land. The emperor, believed to be a living god, held absolute authority. This divine status was a crucial element in maintaining the emperor's power, as it placed him above all earthly disputes and rivalries. The belief in the emperor's divine nature helped to unify the people under a single, unquestionable authority. This system of imperial rule, with its emphasis on lineage and divine right, would become a defining feature of Japanese society. The concept of divine right provided a stable and enduring framework for governance, one that would persist through various dynastic changes and political upheavals. The Yamato also played a crucial role in shaping Japanese culture. Their influence extended beyond politics and into the realms of religion, art, and language. They promoted cultural practices that would become quintessentially Japanese, fostering a sense of shared identity and heritage among the people. They promoted a shared language and belief system, uniting the disparate clans under a common identity. This cultural unification was essential for the stability and cohesion of the emerging Japanese state. By encouraging the use of a common language and the worship of shared deities, the Yamato helped to bridge the gaps between different regions and communities. This period laid the foundations for the emergence of a unified Japanese nation. The legacy of the Yamato period is still evident in modern Japan, from the continued reverence for the emperor to the enduring cultural practices that trace their origins back to this formative era. The Yamato's achievements in unifying the nation under a single divine authority set the stage for the development of a distinct and enduring Japanese identity. In the 6th century AD, a new faith arrived on Japanese shores: Buddhism. This religion, originating in India, preached a message of compassion, non-violence, and the pursuit of enlightenment. Buddhism quickly gained favor among the Japanese elite, seen as a sophisticated and advanced philosophy. The Asuka and Nara periods witnessed the flourishing of Buddhist art and architecture. Magnificent temples such as Horyuji and Todaiji were constructed, adorned with intricate carvings and towering pagodas. These sacred spaces became centers of learning and religious practice. The adoption of Buddhism had a profound impact on Japanese society. It introduced new moral and ethical principles, influencing law, government, and everyday life. Buddhist monasteries became important centers of education, promoting literacy and the spread of knowledge. However, the arrival of Buddhism did not replace the native Shinto beliefs. Instead, the two religions coexisted and even blended, creating a unique syncretic tradition. This fusion of Shinto and Buddhist beliefs would continue to shape Japanese spirituality for centuries to come. The Heian period, spanning from the late 8th to the 12th centuries, is often considered the golden age of Japanese culture. This era marked a significant transformation in the political, social, and cultural landscape of Japan, laying the foundation for many aspects of Japanese tradition that are still celebrated today. With the capital moved to Heian-kyo, present-day Kyoto, the imperial court enjoyed a period of relative peace and prosperity. The city itself was meticulously planned, reflecting the Chinese influence on Japanese urban design, and became the heart of Japanese culture and politics. This era witnessed a flowering of art, literature, and refinement. The aristocracy indulged in the creation and appreciation of various forms of art, from delicate paintings to intricate literary works, which were often inspired by the natural beauty surrounding them. The Heian court was a world of exquisite beauty and intricate etiquette. Life at court was governed by a complex system of rules and customs where every gesture and word was carefully measured to maintain harmony and display one's sophistication. Nobles, dressed in elaborate silk robes, devoted themselves to the pursuit of aesthetic pleasures. Their clothing, often adorned with intricate patterns and vibrant colors, was a reflection of their status and taste. Calligraphy, poetry, and music were highly prized skills, and courtiers competed to create the most elegant and evocative works of art. These artistic endeavors were not merely hobbies but essential aspects of courtly life, showcasing one's education and refinement. This period also saw the rise of female writers such as Murasaki Shikibu, author of The Tale of Genji. This masterpiece of world literature, a sprawling novel of love, intrigue, and courtly life, provides a fascinating glimpse into the Heian world. It remains a crucial source for understanding the complexities and subtleties of Heian society. However, beneath the surface of refinement and elegance, the power of the imperial court was waning. The court's focus on aesthetics and ceremony often came at the expense of effective governance. Powerful aristocratic families, particularly the Fujiwara clan, exerted increasing influence, manipulating the throne for their own gain. Their dominance in court politics led to a gradual erosion of the emperor's authority. This shift in power would eventually lead to the decline of central authority and the rise of the samurai warrior class. The samurai, with their own code of honor and martial prowess, would come to define the next era of Japanese history, marking the end of the Heian period's golden age. The story of ancient Japan is one of remarkable transformation. From its mythical origins to the flowering of its unique culture, this island nation forged a distinct path. The legacy of ancient Japan continues to resonate in the present day. The imperial system, established by the Yamato clan, endured for centuries, shaping Japanese identity and political structures. The fusion of Shinto and Buddhist beliefs continues to influence Japanese spirituality, with its emphasis on harmony with nature and reverence for ancestors. The art, literature, and aesthetics of the Heian period remain sources of inspiration for modern-day Japan. Traditional arts like calligraphy, tea ceremony, and flower arrangement are still practiced and appreciated. The stories of ancient Japan, passed down through generations, continue to captivate and inspire, connecting the present to a rich and vibrant past.